Are you looking for a faster video? Well, today it's a live stream and I know you're probably looking for a really nice and tidy edited down video, but I have ways for you to make it faster. You can click that little gear on the YouTube settings right there on the video and adjust the playback speed, make me sound like a chipmunk, and it'll go a lot faster. You can also look and see if there's timestamps for this project in the description, and if you're on a desktop you can hover over the time bar at the bottom of the screen and see if it's chunked up into chapters, and then that way you can go directly to the step you're looking for. And lastly, you can also tap on the screen on the right hand side of the video picture or on the left hand side to make the video jump ahead, forward or backward if you're on a mobile device. And you can adjust that amount in your settings so you can have complete control over how much it jumps. So if you are on a desktop, you can use the fast forward or the rewind, and that will make it go faster as well. You can also enable subtitles, and the little CC on the screen will enable closed captioning. That way, if I am a little bit harder to understand with that double playback speed, the subtitles might help you out. All right, well, I know that it's not a nice little edited video, but if you sew with me, we'll get there together and it'll be lots of fun. And now for the live stream. Happy sewing! Hello, hello. I guess I could take my, well, I'll wait. I'm a little chilly. How's it going? Happy Saturday. Hi, Fiona. Hi, Daphne. Catherine, Delwyn, Amy. How's it going? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Hey, Sue. Welcome, welcome. It's a little overexposed, isn't it? Let me darken it a little bit. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Sarah. Let's see. It's a little better. Hi, Vestigia. How are you all? Are you guys sewing today? What are you making? I'm pretty excited about finishing this dress. I'm not excited about, you know, potential sewing drama, but I know you are. But I am excited to try something new. Hi, Diane. I know how you feel. So let's see. So far, I have done pretty much just the yoke. I spent a lot of time on it, but there was a lot involved with the yoke, and I also made a tie at the neckline. It's actually on my dress form right here. I should probably take it off now, huh? Wait, I can show you real quick. Let's see, here she is. Pretty shapeless right now. I tried it on. There we go. Catherine, how's it going? Catherine, I have messaged you and emailed you, and I don't think you're seeing them. I messaged you through the guild, so just watch out for that. Hi, Fiona. Again, I think I said hi to you already. You got your sewing plan sorted? Nice. Hi, Malin. Bring on the elastic thread by Bobbin. Hi, Suzanne. Making a Merchant Mills trapeze dress. Ooh. Oh, you got your Love Notions game day top. Is game day a is this for like Super Bowl Sunday, or is it actually a Love Notions top called Game Day? Oh, you're finishing your Cortland trench. Michelle, nice. Hey, Walter, how's it going? You have to work, so no sewing at the moment. Ah, that's a bummer. Work really cramps our style sometimes, right? Cool. You're starting your linen blouse, Catherine. Nice. Allegro pants don't have any elastic. Have to wait. Is Allegro a pattern? Because I have denim called Allegro. Oh my gosh, you have to wait for snow to melt. Wow. Wow. Yeah, so do people go, oh, it's really snowy, I can't go out, I'll just order it? And then you're like, oh wait, I can't get a delivery either? I don't have this problem in California, so Oh, Mary, I have never made one of her patterns. Vicky Sews. Cool. Barrel jeans. That's what they're called. Or are they like barrel? Oh, from Jolly. Okay. Hi, Libby. So you're knitting? Yeah. Hi, Elizabeth. How's it going? It's the patterns from Love Knows and just pull on elastic. Oh, okay, okay. Hi, Catherine B. You're sewing pajamas. Always a winner. You have the Azores? All right. Yeah, I'm kind of excited about the shirring too, but I've never done it before. So I am not your expert, but I plan to be. I plan to become my own little one. Looks like a jersey. Oh, okay. It looks like, okay. You've made the Concord tee for your daughter today and she likes it. Yay. That's a win. I know you've been working on getting her tops that fit. So over at Ultimate Jeans, ooh, I wonder if I have those jeans in my jeans list. Because I have a list of all the jeans patterns I can find because I want to sew as many as possible, basically. Hey, Corey. Shaped like a banana or a barrel. Oh, like, is that kind of like the berry, is it the berry pants by Style Arc where they have the like kind of gaucho, I want to say gaucho, but it's probably not correct. Kind of silhouette. Bow-legged is what I want to say. Snow is the enemy, George. You're iced in. Oh, man. Yeah, it sounds dangerous. I'm so glad you're here too, Corey. I know, it was a long break. Sure can. Nope, no reason, Carrie, unless one will bleed onto the other. Oh, thank you. I will switch chat to live chat. All right. I love how it welcomes me back to chat when I do that. Did I miss anybody? Did I miss anybody? Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. All right, cool. It's piles of snow in Maine. Ooh, it's a beautiful day here. Would you guys like to live vicariously? You're leery of anything called barrel on your bottom half. I know, I was kind of, but you know, I think Vicky Sews patterns, are hers Russian? Is she in Rush? Are those Russian? And so it could just be like a, that's their term for something, you know? I love that kind of learning different words and how that would mean. My camera is making a noise. It's never made a word at all, you know? So. Hi, Sydney, you're listening while you walk. Enjoy the walking since it's not icy and snowy. All right, let's get going here. So here we are so far. I'm making this Azores top. I'm making the dress version. A little bright there. I'm making this dress version, but I'm going to be doing a short sleeve version. I'm going to still stick to the elastic. I'll just probably do 3 rows. And I'm adding pockets because for some reason I did not notice there weren't any. And I just used one of my pocket patterns. I just have one that I just have lying around. So it looks like this. I have 4 of them. The only other modifications I've done are sewing modifications. I changed the button loop. Okay, so look at this little bow. Isn't that so cute? So this is how I figured it out, how to do it. Let's see if I can do it again. So I just tied this normally, and then I make a loop. And then I think what I do was, let's see, no. I went from back to front. Usually I go like this. I go over, poke it through. I know there's a lot of people that do this, but when I do this, it flips it over. So I found that if I go from like that, it makes the bow a nice little perky bow. Isn't that so cute? Very, very cute. For those of you who weren't here, this occupied a lot of my stream the other day. I'm doing a nice narrow little tie. Oh, well, there went the bobbin. You hate to eat anything over 70. Aw, that sounds nice, Carrie. Is Concord the knit one? You had to take it in quite a lot. Oh, interesting. Yeah, they're translated exactly, Mary. So what does barrel mean? Does barrel just mean like the equivalent of like stovepipe? You're right, Diane. Well, and you know, everybody's like ties. This is a fun thing to do. Like ask anybody, watch them tie their shoes, and how they do it is really fascinating. Everyone does it a little differently. Hi, Emily. How's it going? All right. Just want to make sure I'm keeping up with chat before I start like head down. I just finished editing a video and uploading it, and I feel like it looks like I wasn't really into the project because I was just literally just like looking down the whole time, and I don't know what it is about it. So it's kind of funny. I was like, I really enjoyed that project. Why didn't I look up a lot? Anyway, Barbara made a good point the other day that I forgot to put labels in. So I was just trying to figure out where to do that, and yeah, it kind of made it pretty hard for me to get a label in here. All right, so what I was telling you though were my modifications. So I made a bow here rather than a little tiny loop with a button. I'm just not a big fan of those because I feel like you really have to get the loop the right width compared to the shank of the button. They don't hold, or you can't undo them. There's just there's a lot more subtle stuff going on. And the other thing I did was I clean finished my yoke. So the pattern has you clean finish the back yoke, but on the front yoke, what you're supposed to do is treat your yokes as they're both layers as one, and then you sew it right sides together with your front, your outer lower front. I decided that I really wanted a clean finish, and so I sewed the inner yoke to the wrong side of the garment, and then I finished it on the right side. And I really, really love how this looks. I still haven't ironed out my little pin holes there. That's what you're seeing, or pinholes. But I think this turned out really nice, and I'm really glad I did it for this kind of garment. So you don't have to do this. It was just an experiment. I kind of wanted to know if I could. Ugh, I moved my chair. Oh, I was going to take my machine off the, oh well. So I'm not sure where I'm going to put these. I may just have to hand sew it on, you know, because what I could do is put this right sides together, turn it right side out, and then I'd have like a finished top edge. That always sounds good in theory, by the way, but it never looks as good as you think, you know. Use small stitches, and I think this would be my tip. Let's just practice. Let's thread the, oh man, I'm going to thread my needle already. One thing I've been experimenting with when I have stuff like this where sometimes the back stitch does something funky to the ends is I put the back stitch in the middle. So I'm going to start in the middle of my label here. And then I'm going to go to the back, to the end, and I'm going to go back all the way to the other end. And then back stitch there, and then that way my back stitch isn't on the ends. Look at that nice straight line. Let's straighten that out a little bit. When you're going backwards, there's just no guarantees what'll happen. It's the wild, wild west. All right. And then that way I don't get that little ball of back stitch thread on the ends. Let's see if I can turn this right side out. This is the hard part. Who would have known? Come on. There we go. All right. And so then that way I don't have those threads hanging out there. You know, it's just a subtle little trick I've been playing around with, trying to remember to do more often, you know. And then now maybe I can just tack my little label on there. Even if I don't sew all the way around it, I could just put like an X and an X, you know, on each corner. That'd be kind of cute. So that's my idea. I'll have to do that later though. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to put on the pockets on one of the sides. So let's find, so this, I was trying to figure out where to position my pockets in relation to the garment, because the one thing that is kind of hard to figure out if you're going to add pockets to this is where on the side seam is it going to land on you once the elastic shirring is in the waist, right? So I put it on and I kind of pretended like this shirring was up, you know, at a narrower spot on my body, what I think it's going to do. And I determined that I'm just going to put the pocket just below. So here's my shirring top and bottom right here. I'm just going to put the pocket like just below. That's my plan. Well, let's just hope. I mean, worst case scenario, I'm repositioning my pockets. It's not impossible. So, yeah. Oh, I'm missing all kinds of stuff, aren't I? Oh, I haven't missed much. Okay. Aw, you're up to your eyeballs and grandbaby cute. Aw. Been watching the luge at the Olympics. Nice, Darwin. That's awesome. All right, so let's. I'm gonna shoot for. I'm gonna put it like 1.5 inches below. I don't really want it right up against that because this is all gonna gather in. That theoretically is kind of higher up, you know. I'm trying to decide if I should do French seams. My worry is I actually don't have enough thread, as crazy as that sounds. Oh, you know what? We're going to overlock the pockets first because I'm used to doing French seams for my pockets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're going to do that. All right. How's that look? That looks okay. I think my iron is it just overflow full or something? What the heck? All right, I'm gonna overlock all my pieces. Remember when I used to do this a lot? I used to, I'm gonna make this narrower. Let's see how that looks. I'm using blue thread because I don't have the right color. It's kind of heavy too, have to admit. I'm gonna move that and I'll make it a little narrower. I can see this thread. Yeah, there is a thread. Right here. Looped over my presser foot. For some reason, it's not causing any problems. It was actually making my tension better. Gotta love it, right? I'm kind of new to this machine, so I'm not as well versed in adjusting the tension. So I'm just playing around with it right now. This stitch length looks, it's pretty chunky thread. All right, I'm gonna go around the perimeter of my pockets. So when I was, like earlier in my streaming, when I didn't have more than one camera set up, like as far as the iron goes, it was kind of hard to switch between overlocking and straight stitch and keep it on camera. Now I'm getting this loop right here, and I think it's because I'm turning the corner. Whatever it is, I don't like it. I want to see my notch, so I'm just going to pull this apart as I go by it. So I would pre-overlock a lot of stuff. And then I just got more into using French seams instead of using the serger. But I will say, it's kind of a luxury when you pre-finish all of your edges, because when you go to sew it, it's just so like, oh, I don't have to do anything else. It really doesn't like this curve. My problem with doing that, look at that, that's cute. My problem with pre-serging everything is that it does make your seams a little bulkier. So I don't really recommend it when you want it to be really low profile. I can't see chat, sorry, but I'm almost done. I just have 2 more. This thread is so thick. What's that? Ah, thanks for subscribing, Margaret. Let me look at the chat real quick. Hey, Terry, how's it going? Yeah, this serger does have a nice hem. I totally agree. Do I pre-overlock my jeans pieces? Do you mean like at the side seam? I have. And it's actually really nice because if anything's going to be really bulky to sew, it's going to be jeans. And I don't think that you're trying to reduce the bulk of your seams for a finished product. You're only trying to reduce the bulk for sewing, and that would do it. So yeah. If I'm doing a flat felled seam on the end seam, then you don't need to do that. Some people do, but then it does add bulk. When I do these curves like this, what I do is I always put my fingers over here, and it's kind of like the pivot point. And then right now, my fingers are pulling right now, because what I'm trying to do is keep this in a straight line, right? So what do I have to do? This has to come down to be a straight line. So it's just kind of a natural thing. And I'm pivoting. You can see these stress lines of the fabric there. You got to be careful not to stretch the fabric. All right, did I get all the sides? Okay, yeah. Don't you love this red dot on my arm? Remember the great agave incident of fall 2019? Or fall 2020? The other couple Saturdays ago or Sundays ago, I was working in the yard, and I got poked by an agave right there. And so now I have a reaction every time. Friends don't let friends work with agave. Trust me. All right. 1 yard of cotton. Oh. Something sleeveless, Carrie. Maybe a tank top. I was going to say a bias cut Wixton or something like that. But I don't know if on the bias you'd have enough. Right, Sydney? Exactly. Definitely the fly. How wide is the cotton? Oh, are you asking Carrie? Yeah, that's a good question. You pre-finished edges on a project to help me get used to my... Yeah, that is kind of a good idea, Elizabeth. Him with those other days from agave, and he was only wearing gloves and short sleeve shirt. No, really? Was he using a saw? Those aren't easy to... I was using a saw, and then I was like, let's get the chainsaw. Anyway, okay, I need to do my side seams now. Oh my gosh. You guys are so distracting. Yep, we're pre-serging everything. I'm going to... I have notches right here for the shirring elastic. When I was checking my tension for this, I was using 2 pieces of fabric. So now it's kind of angry at me. It's not angry, but it's like got this little loop. Oh, that solved it. Kind of. You can't really hurt your machine if you're adjusting tensions and stuff, just so you know. And you could always do the trick where you put a different color in each slot. Oh, I only have 3 threads here too. Yeah. The soapstone is nice in that it won't rub off very fast, so. 2 more. This is a little overkill. I would not normally pre-serge all my pieces, just for side seams and pockets, but I'm gonna leave 1 seam open when I do all the shirring. And the other one is going to be done with the pocket. So because 1 is going to be open and 1 is going to be finished, I figure I can make them both look the same on the inside, but I just treat them both the same. But this isn't necessary. Okay, 1 more. Where is it? Here we go. What is that? There's like threads or fibers stuck in there. What the heck? Why? Thanks for modding. Oh yeah, post a picture of it, Carrie. You can even do it in the pattern section. Well, maybe in the share your make section? Oh, C.S. Smith. It's called a soapstone pencil. I'm sorry it's so overly bright. Maybe if I hold it up to the camera here. Can you see that? I don't have autofocus on. And so this unscrews right here so I can change the length of it and I can sharpen it. I have never actually had to change the length of it. I've been using it for a bit. And it's just literally a piece of soapstone in there. So you can't really get it in any other colors. I got it from Waywack, which is a online sewing supplies place. I really like it because it's really firm. I have to admit, my all-time favorite way to mark things is with the Choco liner, but some of the colors can be kind of problematic. I was having a lot of trouble with the yellow coming out. But what I like about this is that, you know, it does a really precise line, and it's got this little, I don't know if you can hear it. It's got this little, it looks like a gear that's rotating in there, and it lets the chalk dust out. You can get it in lots of different colors. I have a white and gray right now. It seems to be fine. But it also would just fall off the fabric pretty quickly. So, and this isn't a problem. It just washes off. I haven't had any issues with it yet. So, all right, so let's see. we're going to attach one set of pockets. We're going to do one whole side seam. And we're going to do it 1.5 inches away. I really hope that's, I want to do it 2 inches. I'm going to do it 2 inches down. Yeah, in sheets, exactly. Which is your Instagram name, right? Okay. See, I could have just overlocked the pocket and then overlocked this whole seam together. I don't know why, but I never tend to do that. All right, so let's mark this one 2 inches below as well, so we know our pocket's in the right spot. It's a lot of dress. I really want to iron the serged edge so it's laying nicer, you know? Okay. Should probably iron, but we're just going to finger press it. I'm just going to top stitch it. I like it to be flat. The pockets to be not very bulky, you know, in the side seam. So this kind of flattens it out a little bit. Ooh, nice, Terry. That's awesome. So that means that you've put your fronts and backs together, you've done your pockets, you've probably added your zipper, right? So now you get to do the fun part with all the like facings along the edges, right? Marking this right here is probably a good idea anyway, because there was a Cheez-It on my floor. I want to be able to see that just outside the seam allowance here, because when we do the shirring with the bobbin elastic, we're going to go from one side seam to the other straight through this side seam. And so that'll be nice to have a little guide right there. I can already tell I don't like having overlocked seams. Hey Janice, how's it going? Yeah, I've been here so long. Yeah, streams just started back this week. Yeah, all that stuff's really really fun, Terry, because it's almost like you're making two separate garments that each one isn't too hard, you know? And the lining ends up looking so good. You're like, this lining looks so good, you know? And then you attach it to the outer. So, all right. So I am always trying to line up these seams the best I can, right? But if you don't get it lined up perfectly, you can do what I'm going to do in the next step to kind of even it all out. I'll show you in just a second. Because I used to do these kinds of pockets a lot when I was a beginning sewist. And some of them would turn out good, and some of them want to be like, you know, I feel like you can kind of see them poking out the side seams, or they wouldn't be lined up very well. And then one day I ran across this pattern that had you do this extra little step to define the hand opening. And I've just done that ever since. It's not necessary in a lot of cases, but it does provide a little bit of, it provides an opportunity to make your hand openings from left to right side the same opening amount. And it also provides an opportunity to kind of make it so that the drop into the pocket down here is, you know, you have more security, so you can put like a seam up here. You're like, okay, my hand is, you know, only this big, right? So my opening can be from here down, or my opening can be from here to here, and then you can kind of close it, and then you provide more depth to your pocket. It also gives you an opportunity to hide the seams in the side seam better. All right, so I'm kind of doing this kind of in a cavalier way, but we're going to line up these seams. It's going to want to push it off, so I'm going to hold it really well. It's just so much stress. You're going to see me constantly kind of fighting it to stay on my table. My table is so slippery, you know? Don't want to drop my soapstone pencil. I literally dive across the room to grab it because I don't want it to break inside here because I've heard that can happen. So I have like its own special little spot in my tool tray for it. All right, and so I had that hand opening marked on my pocket. Remember, I was spreading apart the notch there when I went through the serger. It's still pretty hard to see. Oh, there's one right there. So there's a notch right there. And this one up here is right there. Okay. So what I do now is I will blend from the side seam down to that mark to the left of the seam. Just kind of make it kind of gradual. And then I do the same thing from here down. You want to try and line it up with that one up there, but I've gotten it really off before and it didn't matter. I'm not trying to encourage you to get it off, but just don't, if you're using a fabric that's really hard to unpick or you can't see it because it's black, don't worry about it too much because 2 points make a straight line, right? And so if you don't get this at the same distance away from the side seam down here as you do up there, it doesn't matter, 2 points still make a straight line, right? And then always double check your opening before you go any further. Hey Nancy, how's it going? Oh, nice, Terry. Yeah, exactly, Janice. Yeah, I didn't start until this week. You want to make sure that has written on the back, if I'm hunched over and there's a lot of thread on the floor, best leave me be. Maybe you need that a little sign for the door of your sewing room. Maybe you could just make a sign that you put on your back. All right, so we're getting to the part we're all excited about. So let's check out our markings here. There they are right there. I bet you guys can't see these. And then right here, I see this one. And I think that's one right there. And then this is a long way to go. She expects me to sew in a straight line between that length. Wow. Come on, Kenneth. What do you think I am? Let's see. I'm gonna try and give myself some more. Let's go to the pattern table. I didn't set the pattern table up for the cameras though, so it looks a little bit. I'll just brighten it up a little bit. I won't move the face cam. Okay. I can do a little bit from over here. Hopefully that's not too zoomed in. I could do a crease, but what I was thinking is, and I was about to kind of do a finger press crease, but what I need is a horizontal line, not a vertical one. So, all right, so but I could do a crease between the two, a horizontal crease. Is that what you mean, Mary? That's so smart. I think that's a great idea. Let's do that. Great idea, Mary. All right. Okay. I mean, we know the linen's going to want to crease, right? So... all right, so we have this line here and this line here. I'm really hoping that that's the same point, but let's double check. Oh, okay, it is up higher. Oh, here it is right here. Oh, I'm so glad I checked. Okay. There you go. It looked, when I folded it like this just a second ago, it looked crooked because of the grain line of the fabric. I mean, even if I finger press this, right? I'm not going to do this too hard. Okay, well, I want some heat. Yes, Libby. She says, sew your first line and then a 1/4 inch parallel to the next. I could thread mark it. Nancy. I think we need to time Nancy out. I don't think you'd want to thread mark it though, because you're about to sew directly onto it. I like the crease idea a lot. All right. I think that in some fabrics, this could be a little tricky to make sure that you're actually getting correct, but you could compare it to the lines on the pattern. All right, let's look and see. What's up with this water on my iron? I just want to see, does that look parallel? Yeah, I think this is looking pretty good. All right. My iron just fell over, nice. All right, I need to get some scrap fabric. Is there a bigger piece here? It really got close, you guys. Needing the pockets, it was a good thing I was careful. Okay. Getting down to business now. All right. Right, Catherine? That is exactly one of the fabrics I was thinking of. But there is lines on the pattern, you guys. There's a line for every row of the shirring. You're not flying completely blind. I just marked the top and the bottom, so I had a guide because, you know, 1/4 inch can be easily, you know, turn into 3/16 or, you know, 5/16. All right, so I just wanted to prove that I've never done this before, so I left it in the package. Maybe I'll save the package though. And this is what I'm using. It just says elastic thread. 30 yards in there. Okay, this to me looks like the end, but yeah, that was the end. Okay. Ooh, this is about to become a hot mess. Let's see. I really want a spindle right now. Do I have anything? I'm gonna get a cup or something. A box or a cup or something. I think maybe this will be big enough. All right. So I'm just gonna, you hand wind your bobbin. Wow, Carrie, that's funny. All right. All right, so kind of hoping that I can hold my bobbin a little firmer like this. There we go. You don't want to stretch this on, you want to loosely wind it. But it won't take long because it's so thick, you know. I'm just using a chopstick in there, just so I have something to hold on to while I'm doing this. What is this? Don't give me a heart attack, come on. My thumbnail is key. So many opportunities for ASMR in the sewing video world, isn't there? All right, I think I'll stop there. Get rid of this tail. I'm gonna wonder what this is. Okay, there we go, that works. Then we'll cut this. I've never done this on an industrial machine. I've never done this at all. It just says not to, Margit. All right. The one tip I see, I looked at one, this was the prep I did. I read the instructions in this pattern and I searched sewing with elastic bobbin thread on an industrial machine. There was one video and it wasn't that helpful, but at least it made me go, okay, this is possible. This isn't a big deal. But the two tips I saw that were stressed were pulling up the bobbin elastic thread through the throat plate. Now, if you use an industrial machine, like for a lot of home sewists, they think, well, of course you would do that. You always do that when you pull up your bobbin thread. Not all home machines pull up the bobbin thread. My Bernina doesn't. But for historically, most always did. You always pulled your bobbin thread up. On an industrial, you don't do that, especially if you have one like mine that has the electronics with the automatic thread clipping. So you need to remember to pull up the bobbin thread so you get really out of habit for that. So the other thing I saw was lengthening the stitch. I'm going to go to my 3.5 and just assume that 3.5 on my machine is what, 3.5 millimeters. You're so excited. So this is my first time ever doing this. Wish me luck. Here we go. And I already broke the thread. So it's not going well. I don't really have a backup plan thread-wise. This is the one area of this project that I didn't plan very well. I forgot to buy thread to match, but I had just bought this box of green threads from Waywack. It was a box of 5 greens, and I was like, I am always in search of green thread. None of them come close to matching this fabric. Like, they would look bad. This is in the blue realm rather than in the yellow realm. Those greens are in the yellow realm. All right, I'm just going to start a few stitches with my hand wheel. That helped. All right, it's starting to stretch now. Let's practice doing 1/4 of an inch apart. This feels so fragile. So the one question I have with this is, how do you determine what the ratio of gathers to flat is on this pattern? Ooh, I could adjust my bobbin tension. All right, well, it's working really well. Let's check it out. I don't want that to snap back in there. Okay. But it feels like it can't stretch. Like, oh, that's because it's pulling out the, okay, that's fine. Okay. So let's figure out the ratio. So right here, this piece of fabric, we'll say a 12-inch piece right here between my finger and the edge there, shrinks to, am I pulling that or is that relaxed? It shrinks to about 9 inches. So that's 75% the size. Do you see what I'm talking about here? Oh, that's a good point, Mary. Like if you wanted it tighter. It is like a magic trick. So I'm just kind of curious, like, I mean, this looks really good, doesn't it? I'm just kind of curious how you know it's going to shear it enough. Or what if it shears it too much? there's nothing regulating this amount, because all machines, I imagine, could vary. I don't know much about this. I don't know much about this to know that for sure. So the good news is if you want to remove this, it would be hecka easy. Like you could just pull the elastic out and it's gone. I'll show you. So like imagine your tension of your bobbin being all kinds of wackadoo, right? That's kind of what it's looks like. It's not, but I think like see, you could just pull this out and then look, it's gone. So there's your encouragement to give this a try. If you're worried about it, it's easy to remove. Yeah, I don't know. Could you do that? I mean, I guess you could. You do leave your thread tails long to hand tie them. That's a good question, CS. C. Smith. Really, Aisha? I don't think you get more contraction. I think the contraction's the same. I think it looks denser. Like I think one row is going to be the same amount of contraction as 2 rows, right? Oh, right, Karen. That's right. That's the last tip I saw. Let's do it, Nancy. We are going to be the people who've done this here before. All right. We've got our ironed line. I feel like being like a football player and being like, let's do this. Okay. All right, I'm going to leave a nice long tail, except I just, wait, where's my, please don't make me thread my needle. It's there, I see it. No. Oh my gosh. My tail is so small. There we go. Sorry about all the up and down. Okay. We're doing this. All right, so start and stop at your seam line. Don't go all the way to the raw edge is what it says. So it bounce it back from being stretched while sewing. Okay. If you measure your flat waistline, calculate a little negative. That's what I was thinking too. I just didn't feel like going through it all, Libby, but I did do like 75%. And when I think about how this looked on the dress form, I think that's not going to be very tight. 12 rows was just fine, stretched to fit, but it was long ago. Okay. Ooh. Let's do it. Okay. I got my tails. I'm going to start off slow. I'm going to start off slow. I would like a shorter stitch length. Can I shorten it a little bit? Let's see. The first few stitches are always, you can see white bobbin, which is kind of funny because that's the elastic. Yeah, you're supposed to hover the iron above it when it's all done and steam it. And then it kind of, it does something. I'm going off, getting a little off track here. Am I on the back of the garment right now? I am on the front of the garment. All right, so I'm going to press my, I just want to make sure I press my side seam the correct way. Since I have pockets, I'm pressing the side seam toward the front. I could actually open it up right here. I'm going to open up my side seam right here, just so that it's less bulky when I go through with the elastic. Yeah, right, Nancy, they still do. The stitch length just looks so huge. I think that's the only thing I'm not a big fan of right now. All right, stop at your seam line. Leave yourself a tail. You got to leave kind of a long one because they both kind of go boink, you know? Okay, where do I think 1/4 of an inch is? Do I think that that would be 1/4 of an inch right there? All right, I can do that. So for me, putting my presser foot up next to the stitch line, but that it's so that it's visible, is 1/4 of an inch. This is kind of, it's really awkward. I'm gonna pull, oh, see when I pull on this, it pulls out the elastic. Try not to pull it when you're close to the end. You guys want to see better? Oh, Ray! Hi. I didn't get your alert. Is it just late? We don't have the viewer count on. Put that on. Oh, it's way over here. Look at that, 44 of you in here. Welcome. I'm wondering, Aisha. I'm not sure. I think that I shouldn't. I'm just going to, since I'm a newbie at this, I'm going to just follow what she said. Can you guys see okay? The coloring, let's just adjust a couple things. Just a little bit. I'm going to take off this white balance. Yeah. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Can you see that okay? You want me to zoom in more? Just tell me. You know, she says to stretch it flat while you do this. Normally I'm totally fine stretching elastic to sew it, but I think what makes me worry about it is that it's not secured yet, and I don't want to pull any of the thread or the elastic. This isn't hard, it's just kind of flattening out as I go. All right, who's feeling like they could do this now? You've always wanted to try it, or you've never been interested, now you're like, okay, that would be fun. All right, Carrie. Absolutely, Nancy. I just want to hold these while I start. Do I think I can get 7 rows in here? We'll see, won't we? All right. You know, I naturally put the shorter side of the dress to my right under the head here. That was probably a good call, honestly. It does feel a little awkward. So if you're doing the top, it's probably a lot easier to manage because then you could put the bulk to the left of the machine head, because the amount between the shirring and the hem of the top is a lot shorter. It's starting to get you know, in the way. All right. Thankfully, I don't need to use thread in my bobbin because I wouldn't have had enough for 7 rows of this, plus my sleeves. It's only because it's the bobbin elastic. Going to try? Nice. No, I'm not going to backstitch because there's bobbin elastic in there. I don't think that it would like that. But what you do is when you're all done, you pull your thread tails to the back. Kind of like, you know, if you've ever seen me do decorative top stitching, or when I want to hide where my back stitch is, I will pull the top thread to the back and then just hand knot it. That's what we're going to do. I don't understand why you don't go up to the raw edge. Like, I don't know why that couldn't be in a seam. If you're going over a seam here, why couldn't it be in a seam? You know what I mean? Because you could still hand knot it and still put a seam through it. But one thing to think about is that this edge here is going to match up to that edge. So you really want, you're hoping that your your rows are going to line up with one another, right? Yeah, I think that now that I know how easy this is to set up, like you don't have to do a whole lot except have a hand wound bobbin, right? I would probably do this in a few places where it isn't even called for. Like the, is this feeling tighter all of a sudden? It is looking tighter all of a sudden too. Like the Piper boho tunic has these 3 rows right here at the shoulders. I would do that there. I think someone just mentioned a Love Notion stop that has something similar. Okay, we're more than halfway. Seven rows, I'm at 4. Ooh, 1, 2, 3. Ooh. I think I'm gonna do it in the space allotted. Rather than pulling it, what I'm doing is I hold this down and then I let the machine kind of pull it forward, kind of stretch it for me. I'm not feeling confident enough to stretch this without it being secured yet. I think it was a good call to do the pressed open seam allowance. So maybe being, you know, the individual serged edges is helping me. I just don't like how clean finish we did it and then we have overlocked side seams, you know. Nice. Well, the elastic doesn't show, but you could use it up too. So how do you use it when it's exposed? Like, is there a, oh, I guess, I mean, I guess if you were doing it so the bag showed. Nice. Yeah, I'm a little worried about how it'll look like on me, Aisha. I had to watch myself in a video from last summer, and I was like, really? That's me? Like, I didn't even recognize myself. I'm like, hopefully this fits. I don't want to accidentally sew on these other ones. So. Okay, one more row. One, two, three, four, five, six. Ooh, and look, there's my mark. Oh my gosh, for the first time in my life, I was accurate. Oh, there's my mark. I am so proud. Like, it wouldn't have bugged me to actually be bigger or like you know, narrower, wider this section. I'm more concerned with it being looking like this. Oh man. You've never used it exposed, Margie. So what are the colors for? Because you must be able to, right? I feel like I do see it exposed, right? Like true smocking, right? You need sewing fairy? You need the good sewing fairy? Ooh. Your order of the threads archive download doesn't work. Oh. Right, Karen? I know. Oh my gosh, C.S. Smith, you just jinxed me. Oh, now I'm so paranoid. That's okay. We know how easy it is to take it out. I'll check the bobbin and we'll see how much is in there. Dang. You just almost jinxed me. Let's see. Well, I am sorry, Sarah, but I'm pretty sure the sewing fairy is over here right now. Look at that. Okay. Well, shoot, I think I might buy a lottery ticket. That's crazy. All right, so let's pull these threads to the back and then just hand tie them. I kind of wish they were all the way in the seam. Look at this one. We saw how long I was leaving those tails, and look, it's still kind of short. So make sure you opt for a long enough tail. Was this my starting side? This is my ending side. Usually I just pull on the bobbin thread. I don't know why I'm using my awl right now. You just pull on the bobbin thread, and then there's going to be a loop. And you just grab it and pull it to the back, and now all my threads are to the back. That's interesting. You can see my bobbin right there. Okay. And then you're going to tie them off. So, yeah. Okay, blow kisses to the sewing fairy, right? I'm going to make an offering on the altar. All right, a little tedious, but this is all easy, straightforward stuff, right? We know how to do this. This doesn't feel very secure, though, I have to admit. This is why I think putting it in the seam allowance would have been a good idea. I want to know why you don't do that. You know? Is it because sewing through it isn't good? I think I'm going to leave the tails like this and I'm going to sew through them. I'm going to push them towards the raw edge. Ugh, it's a lot of threads. All right, tell me a story. Ah, that's true, Mary. I thought about that when I was saying it too. I'm like, I'm telling you to leave a longer tail, but I don't know. Some bobbins don't hold as much and some hold more. I say check your bobbin after the 5th or 6th row, depending on your size. If you're smaller than me, you're probably going to be fine. If you're larger than me, you just might want to just make sure you're not going to run out. The package comes with 30 yards, so when I was reading the notions I needed, it didn't quite say how many yards total you need. It just said 2 small packages, 10 yards. And I was like, well, does that mean I need 2 packages of 10 yards each? Does it mean 2 packages totals 10 yards? And then the package I bought from Hearts was only a 30-yard package. So I was like, all right, well, either way, I'm covered. But then I also did some quick math. I was like, all right, this piece of fabric, oh, I remember now, it measures 54 inches across flat. And so I was like, 7 times 54 divided by 36 was something like 10.5 yards. So I knew I had enough with my 30 yards. You can, Karen? Great. Okay, yeah. I wish I would have pressed that question earlier because I think that I would definitely do that. I think it would, I would still secure the ends though. I think you absolutely have to do this part right here. I don't think you can skip this. But now I'm just gonna pull this to the seam allowance. I'm gonna stitch through it, kind of tame it a little bit. Oh shoot, I don't have a bobbin in. Wow, I just lost all my cred with the sewing fairy. Phew. We're okay. Machine knows it's not supposed to do that. All right. Phew. All right, so let's put all these tails in the seam allowance right here. And I'm going to make my stitch length pretty small actually too. Okay. What is this right here? Was this my failed attempt at trying to sew without a bobbin? Maybe. Okay. That looks better, don't you think? Let's just hope. I mean, my linen is at least loose enough that you can actually see a little bit of the bobbin threads. Yep, it makes that beep when it's like, I do not like what you're doing right now. And then what it does is it shuts itself off, kind of. But you still have to turn it off. So, yeah. You never want to sew without a bobbin, right? On any machine that requires a bobbin. All right, so we'll hand tie these. a little tedious. So I think I'll probably hem the sleeve first. And I think if you're doing this on a top, you would probably want to hem the top before you do all this, depending on how close it is to the elastic. I'm not sure. That way you don't have to fight like trying to hem right here, you know, so close to it. Look at that, it looks so good. Let's just admire it. All right. Okay. I just want to make sure these are secure. Sometimes when I do that second one, it just keeps sliding. You know, you can tell it's not really tied off. Probably put my awl behind it, and maybe then that would give it a little bit of a background to tie against. I don't know. Maybe you would want to, you could probably put these ends through a tapestry needle and maybe even weave them somehow more secure. Maybe I'm just being paranoid, you know? Maybe I'm just being paranoid that they'll come apart, but I don't know. Elastic isn't, you know, a very secure thing to use as something to tie. It's like when you've been knitting a while, you start understanding how some fibers, when you weave in the ends of your project, they just, no matter what, over the course of time, they unweave themselves. They work their way out because some yarns just don't want to do that. They don't want to stay like that. Yarn is you know, when it hasn't been like adulterated or refined, it's got like a kind of a barbed surface to it, and so that's why wool felts, right? So in the wool realm, if it's been made into like superwash or something, you might have some trouble getting it to stay woven. That feels pretty secure. We'll see. Okay. All right, let's sew this other side seam together. I don't know, Margit, I'm hoping. I mean, that's why I'm hand tying them all. Oh, I need my pocket. Okay. All right. So 2 inches below that mark. But if you're nervous, always check. So what we can do is take this to the side. They definitely feel funny when you don't make them symmetrical, you know? But that looks like it's there. Okay. And then we'll mark this one to here. So what's more important right now is that my elastic line up, right? So let's just line up the elastic like this. And then mark the pocket on this side. Nancy, that's hilarious. So what you're saying is you only trust one of your machines. But if you want to break the rules, you know who to go to. Oh, that's right, Karen. I need to steam it, huh? Thanks for the reminder. I'll do that maybe once I put these pockets on. Why do you think that there were no pockets in this? When I don't see something like that, it makes me doubt. What am I forgetting? What am I thinking? Hey, Barbara, how's it going? Well, this has been a class for me today. I'm learning. Okay. Sometimes I backstitch my top stitch, sometimes I don't. I know someone might have caught that I didn't backstitch on one. It's going to be, it's, you know, it's in the seam allowance right there, so you don't really need to backstitch. Oops. What pop up? I didn't see something pop up. What'd I miss? Malin doing some sorcery. All right, so let's see if we can get these pretty lined up. Let's see here. And they're kind of hard to line up because you can't see, they're not right in the seam allowance. I'm going to kind of force this and even do a little bit of a pleat there. Don't judge me. All right. Just like matching my seam right there. I just kind of fold it back like this. So right to the left of it. I'm going to clip that thread while I'm here so I don't forget it later. I sort of wish I would remember that I don't like big seam allowances on my pockets. If you design your pocket a certain way, you can do the serging around in one step. I just didn't use that kind of pocket. It was one of those things where I was like, oh my gosh, I just realized it doesn't have pockets. And I didn't want to forget by the next day for the stream to get my pockets. And so I just used my pocket pattern and cut them out. Let me get this. I feel like this seam allowance just got folded back on itself right here. Oh yeah, it did. Let's just pull this out a little bit. I cannot see those stitches. Just a few. That's the linen. There we go. Oh, she commented. She was busted. Okay. Get rid of some of these back stitch because I just, you know, fixed that little spot. That little loop is really annoying. Oh, it's not a loop. Okay, cool. Nice. All right. All right, so then let's just define the pocket, and then I'm going to steam the let's see, where is that? Oh, there it is right there. Okay. Right there. And then I want to steam the smocking. So rather than measure the other one from the bottom up to match, I'm going to measure match the pocket opening so they feel the same to my hands. You ever have those pockets you made and you're like, one's more comfortable than the other? I don't know what you're talking about. I would never go to all this trouble because that's happened to me. All right. So my next step is to do the sleeves. I did change the pattern. I just did a short sleeve. I didn't really do anything to the sleeve pattern to do that, except I made it so that the transition on the underarm is a little straighter, more at a right angle. Dresden plates. Is this a quilt pattern? Ooh, look how small that looks, you guys. Wow. That is kind of small. Look, it's not really stretching all the way out. See, this isn't stretching. But let's just trust the process. Let's steam it. I know this is part of it. I need to fix this right here too. I worked hard not to get that, and then I still got it. See, this is about as far as I can stretch this. And that's okay. Like, it doesn't need to stretch and be flat, right? You know, just like a waistband that has a fixed waistband with a gathered skirt coming off of it. You can't stretch that waistband the amount the gathers are, right, to make it flat, and that's okay. I just want to make sure that this isn't going to the absolute smallest part on my body and making the whole dress right up, you know. Stop leaking. Why are you doing that today? I don't appreciate that. A lot of hard water in my area. A lot of minerals in the water. I can feel it sliding too. All right, so this is the seam I sewed straight through. See, look, they slide on the thing. And then this is the seam I didn't sew straight through. That actually looks pretty good. I'm kind of surprised. This one doesn't match, but all these others match. That was pretty lucky. You can see my bobbin elastic, so what I could do is go to this side and, you know, pull on these stitches to get that white. See, now the white will be less right there. All right, I didn't notice much of a difference with the steaming, but it does look pretty nice. I kind of want to throw it on my dress form. Whoops. Dang, did I just whoops. I just barely touched it and I got the right camera. All right, so Let's see how it looks on the dress form right now. It's so hard to get things on and off my dress form. She's so grabby. Ooh, I don't like that sound. Oh, there's a pin here. There's a couple pins here. Oh, please, are you not going to go over my boobs? Come on. Oh yeah, no problem. Okay. Probably could have been more methodical when I put that on her. Just trying to get it centered. I feel like the bodice is too blousy. Looks good though. Look at how blousy it is. But look at how nice and smooth the bottom is with the gathers. You know, I think that it kind of has to be that way too. This is the height. This is my height. That works. Okay. Groping my dress form. So when the sleeves are on there, I think that'll look more proportioned. I'm excited. Looks pretty good. It looks so small, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I think. Yeah, oh shit, I don't have the. Yeah, I think so, maybe. Well, I don't know, Michelle. I don't know if that's why there's no photo, but there is lots of testers have done it. And I like her pattern drafting, you know. All right. Well, we can just work on the sleeves while she sits here. Setting the sleeve, easy part. Yeah, I like it a lot. I think you could also do a longer top, like more like a tunic length. All right, we need to wind more elastic thread. Sorry, guys. I am high-waisted. Can you tell? Are you looking at that going, geez? Okay. Boy, there we go. Okay. So I'll pretty much need a full bobbin to do both my sleeves because I'm just going to do 3 rows of thread. Well, maybe 4. 3. I think 3. Yeah, I think a tunic version would be kind of cute. That would be such an easy thing to change on the pattern too. Hey Taya, how's it going? Is it Taya or Taya? I've seen you in the guild. I can't look at chat and do this apparently. Having it further away is better. No! It's your first stream? Welcome. All right, this is actually working better. You know, that it does remind me. I've had to hand wind a lot of things, and I have found that sometimes setting it on the floor directly below what you're doing is easiest, because it can draw off of whatever pile or spool you're trying to get it from. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Almost done. All right. High-waisted and short-waisted, are they the same thing? I want to say yes, but at the same time, I wonder if you could be short-waisted up high. Oh, the first one. Oh, Taya. Okay, cool. Hi, Allison. How's it going? Yeah, I think that's kind of what made me want to sew it, because I hate saying this because I don't want it to sound like a insult, even though it's because it's not. It just looked old-fashioned. The cover one looks kind of old-fashioned. It looks like it's in a polyester. And I think, though, for folks that work in an office and have to have a lot of professional clothes, it's perfect for that, right? Because that's easy care. And, you know, it would be comfortable to wear all day. So I think in that regard, it would look really nice. It'd be so comfortable and it'd be kind of dressy. But for me, it just looked a little old-fashioned. But then I was like, when I saw the yoke, I was like, oh, I love the yoke. So what, Sarah? What are you sorry about? Oh, Sarah got the fairy tipsy and she knocked that off the table. Right? Yeah, I won't see that for a while. I dropped a bobbin earlier too, so they're there together now. Okay. That sounds good, Amy. All right. We're going to do the sleeves, which I'm sort of winging. I did find having this, if you're using an industrial like mine, I did find having it over the 3. I had it at like 3 plus 1 line. I started with 3.5 and I went shorter, because I just wanted it to be a little less huge stitch looking, you know. All right, so for me, I'm gonna go with like right here, and we're gonna do Mary's trick of ironing this. I want it to about right there. Little concerned that it'll scrunch it way too much for the bicep, you know? So let's see here. This is 3.5 inches. Three and a half inches. And I just lost my pin. I can iron over these, so 3.5 right there. All right. Oh, worried about my iron. Okay. What I really want right now is a new computer. My computers are fine for computering, but doing editing video right now, my computer that I edit video on it's such a slog. It's just like too much RAM. And so that's what I would like to buy next. I can't upgrade the RAM in my computer. I don't want to buy another iron. You know? Okay. Got our sleeves. Oh, I meant to bring my ironing board cover. New iron time, right? I know. Okay. Short-waisted. Short-waisted and high-waisted. I mean, I would think like short-waisted could be, yeah, I mean, I think short-waisted and high-waisted would be the same thing. I'm going to go all the way to the seam allowance this time. Hey, April, how's it going? What is this thread right here if it's not this one? This thread's so lightweight. I think it's ironic that I usually sew with a thread that's a little too heavy on all my garments. And then I think on this project, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that it would benefit from having heavier thread for the bobbin elastic. Oh, that's awesome, Nancy. I gotta do this all over again. All right. I'm just gonna do 3 rows, so this won't take as long. We're pros now. This is when I start making mistakes because now I think I'm a pro. One. I was going to do the hem of this first, but I want my hem to be done in the round, so I'm going to wait till I'm done. And the side seams are done. All right, Terry, have a good one. Thanks for coming and helping out. Good luck on your Ozark. Ooh, bummer, Ray. Blew a fuse. I have this little water dispenser, and, well, it's not little actually. It was the one I had with me and Rayanne. Like, it was my second one. And I still get to use it, but occasionally it'll do something funny, and I'm like, no, I don't want to have to get another one of these. And so recently it just stopped doing anything, and so I was like, I'm not gonna just buy one. I'm gonna try and fix this. And so I carried it all the way home, like 2 months later, carried it all the way home, got a whole bottle of water, schlepped it there, got it all set up, and then it worked perfectly. And I was like, are you kidding me? I have to carry this thing back up the stairs here and the water bottle. It better work when I get up there, and it's been working ever since. So I don't know what the deal was with it. Oh, you know what? I didn't check. Oh, I just got really lucky. The Sewing Fairy is getting a really big treat today. I was just worried that I didn't check my left and right sleeve. So if you don't have a right and wrong side to your fabric, make sure you don't do this on 2 right sleeves, you know, or 2 left sleeves. See, I told you, once I start like, oh, I got this, then that's when I start making mistakes. A lot faster this time because it's a shorter distance and we're only doing 3. right, this time we're going to take the bobbin thread, the elastic bobbin out, and we're going to immediately put when I have that kind of thread, like that won't stay on the bobbin. I know I don't have bobbin thread in there. I'm just trying to get it reset, the bobbin case, to hold the bobbin in the right spot. It feels funny. Why does it feel like it's hard to get on? There we go. Did my bobbin or my thread go? Oh. Oh man. It's a needle threading simulator. I'm going back to size 16 needles as soon as I can. All right, change your stitch length too. You know, Taya, you might be able to just clean it. Does it have a self-clean function? That might be all you have to do. It could just be a little bit of water deposits. It's funny because the current iron I have, they say don't put in filtered water. And I just think, like, are you sure about that? Do you know where I live, you know? All right. Yep, sorry, I gotta do this. Gotta tie all these, and then put the sleeves in, and it's done, except for the hem. Good thing we still have Malin here. I know Malin's probably wanting to go to bed soon, too. I can handle it if you need to go to bed, Malin. Yeah, exactly, Michelle. You like the gravity feeds, T. Smith? That sounds really, they're really amazing. Someone here, maybe it was it you, Carrie? Or pre-ordered an iron. Was it Aliso? Did you ever get it? Okay, cool, Malin. Thank you. All right. Let's stitch these down. I'm going to do a short stitch length. Trim these. Let's just hope that that's my bicep. It looks okay. Let's see what that measures. I mean, it's kind of small. We'll see. This is what I'm talking about as far as like how you can regulate the stretch. So you really can't. What you have to regulate is how much fabric you're sewing this on. You guys saw how long my tails were with this elastic, right? Look at that. Make sure you leave yourself a really long tail because it disappears. Oh my gosh, there we go. They need to make water for irons. Well, I feel like a long time ago you were supposed to use distilled, right? Does anyone think does that sound familiar? Am I wrong on that? Yeah, so next week I'm going to be sewing an ironing board cover, speaking of irons. And I did find a few patterns, free patterns out there. So if you're kind of interested in doing this and you don't want to come up with the pattern, there are quite a few. And maybe I'll try and gather up a few and link them. And maybe I'll schedule the stream, link them in the description so you can kind of check it out. So I'm going to just make mine based on my current ironing board cover. And the reason I went that way was because I don't know if their pattern fits my ironing board. And I just figure, I think a lot of people would do that. So that's what I think I'll do. I need fabric for it. Pretty sure I need fabric for it. Why are you acting like that? Stop it. There we go. All right. Look how long those are. Is it maybe something I'm doing at this end? Pulling them? Could be. You have a Rowenta? Me too. I just got it at Target. You know, it would be really fun to have a really nice iron, but I don't. It's really awesome. I love it. It works great for, you know, what it is. I have one at home, one here. My biggest complaint about it is that I can't see when the water is low in the tank, and when I'm filling it, it's really hard to see. Certain light, you just can't tell. It's clear, but it's just so hard. It's blue. I wish they would have made it like clearer, like a pale gray plastic maybe. I don't know. It's just something, because I sometimes get really nervous. I don't want you overfilling it. It's kind of a problem because then it just pours out the top. So you tilt it over and then the water just starts pouring out. Yours started leaking too. Yeah, so this one is acting funny today for sure. But I did overfill it a little bit. So it could just be that. These are my last 3 to tie. You guys are being really patient. Yeah, and I like having an iron that's pretty accessible to anyone, you know. Like, it would be really, I love the ironing boards that have the suction. If you've ever used one of those, they're just incredible. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it, Taya. And I also think that if it depends on what you're doing. So if you're a garment sewist using an iron mostly, you want a nice heavy iron and you want a good steam function, you know. And I like a sharp point on the sole plate so I can get kind of into the nooks and crannies. But I bet quilters might have another, you know, requirement. Okay, wait. I just started tying this one with just any old thread. Where's your thread, buddy? That was your thread. Why was it way over there? Okay. Oh, you guys' Rowentas are leaking. That's funny because both mine here and at home are acting funny, and I'm wondering if that's it. All right. No. I'm not right. Oh my God. Lightweight thread, man. Lightweight thread just unthreads. I just had my mechanic, you know, kind of service my machine. And so he calibrates it for what I say. I didn't have him calibrate it for a size 14 needle and really lightweight thread. It's not even lightweight thread. It's just regular weight. He knows what I usually use. Okay. Oakley dokley. I'm going to put that back to my regular stitch length. I'm going to put an easing stitch in the cap here. This seems kind of short, actually. I don't really want to serge these pieces separately, so I won't. But I do think I'm going to sew my sleeve in with a single needle and then serge it afterward, because I'm not using a serging stitch that has a seam. This stitch length was way too short. Mine doesn't shut off too early at all, and it heats up really fast. I will say though that this was a long time ago, but when I was in college, my roommate would get really upset at me for leaving the iron on. And it did have an auto shut off, and it had a safety feature where if it fell over, it would shut itself off, right? I don't think there's a lot of gathers in this, so I don't really need to go too overboard here. And they're between these little notches up here. So one time, oh, I'm not easing this in at all. This is a gathering stitch. One time the iron did fall, and when we got home, it was face down on the carpet and it had burned a perfect imprint of the iron on the carpet, but it had shut itself off. So that safety feature basically saved the entire apartment complex. And now I turn it off. Do you got that one, Malin? Malin's like watching Netflix right now and just modding on the side. No, I'm just teasing. I love teasing Malin. Yeah, well, you know, it's interesting that they didn't. They were probably replacing the carpet anyway. And, you know, it's that kind of carpet that probably had to be installed for fire prevention. I had another time when my roommate spilled a candle and there was wax in the carpet. Oh, now that was a pain. I can't remember. I don't think we got charged for that either. Probably should have. All right, I'm going to do the underarm seam of my sleeve. So I gave myself permission to do this sleeve, knowing that it might not be quite right, you know? Let's see. Oh, this might actually work out okay. And by that I mean, I told myself if I'm not a big fan of gathers at the top of sleeves. I just really, it's just not for me. I have broad shoulders, they're straight across. I don't need anything making me look bigger right here, you know? So my backup plan, if you saw in the cutting video, was if I don't like this, I don't have enough fabric to cut new sleeves, I would just take out the sleeve, take out all the gathering, iron it, and then use my sleeve pattern on top of it because it matches for the armhole of this bodice, and it wasn't bigger height-wise, so I can just trim it down. So that was my backup plan. So I think it's gonna be fine now. Ugh, Barbara, yeah. It was terrible. Really liked that roommate though. She was a hoot. She had never lived on her own before, and grew up on a commune. I lived with a lot of people who had lived on a commune before, in different ones in different parts of the country. They were all just really amazing people, but they were kind of sheltered too. Like I would walk into the kitchen and there would be a potato in the microwave oven wrapped in foil on fire. Or the other time I walked in and someone ran out of dishwasher soap, so they used dishwashing soap in there. And the kitchen, it was one of those little tiny apartment kitchens. It was this deep in foamy bubbles. I walked in, I was like, oh. So neither of them ever killed me, but they were really fun and entertaining to live with. Okay. I didn't steam my elastic here. I'm going to overlock my underarm and then attach my sleeves. Let's check this here. Should have done this when it was still flat, right? I hope I'm doing this right. I'm not seeing much of a difference, but I definitely want to follow the directions, you know. All right. You know, what I did learn is that you can patch carpet, but the trick is that you have to make sure you put the new piece in the same nap, same direction of the nap. And then it's almost seamless. It's pretty amazing. I hired someone to do it once because one time, Michael and I, our first place, we rented a house, and I had my pattern table. Like I still had an industry pattern table, which are these big tables, and they're the really hard compressed like wood with a metal frame. They're really heavy duty, and then on the corners there are these big thick rubber bumpers. And when the people that helped us move brought in my table to the house, they laid it on one edge of the table and dragged it into the room, leaving a long burn by the black rubber bumpers on the carpet. So when we moved out, I had to have someone replace that whole strip. They were like, oh yeah, sure. Guess what they did? It was Berber carpet, by the way. So Berber carpet is like closed, big chunky loops, right? And it went like this. They put it in perpendicular. Who does that? It was a fiasco. I got charged. I didn't pay those people, but I still got charged for the carpet replacement. He was pretty understanding because he was like, yeah, that's ridiculous. But at the same time, we still had to fix that. It was a brand new house, so. All right. So I'm going to turn my sleeve right side. Oh, I was going to attach it first, but I don't really need to because it's not a smooth cap, so I'm feeling okay. All right, so my dress is inside out. My sleeve is right side out. This is the front, and this is the front. Okay, cool. This is the right one. I put my side seam allowance pressed open. I'm going to put my sleeve pressed to the back for once. And I'm just going to check my armhole right now and see. You know what? No, I'm going to put this on my machine because I don't have a safety stitch on my serger right now. I didn't have enough spools. I don't know. When I was like, wait, what about, you're doing this wrong. You know, he tried to tell me it was correct because he knew, and he was like, oh shoot, you know. All right, here it is. God. I was like, dude. Yeah, I don't think he worked there for very long. Like when I pointed out the look on his face, like when I was like, no, look, like there's a nap to this. You didn't do it the right direction. It should have been like this. I could tell he went, and then he was like, no, it's supposed to be that way. I was like, I just saw it on your face. Wow. All right. Yeah, hardwood is a little bit better. All right, so there is a notch on the cap. Should go to your shoulder line. Mine, look at that. See how mine is a little further in right here. So we need to line it up to there. Hopefully that doesn't bring in my shoulders too much. There are gathers in this sleeve. My mind is in set in sleeve mode because of the skill session I just launched. So I've been doing a lot of sleeves with ease but that are smooth. And I think that there are notches where you match on the armhole and the cap there. But you want these gathers to basically be up on top of the cap. I know, Taya. That is such a good point. That's such a good point. And, well, you know, to be fair, also, it's not like we could have afforded it, you know. That's basically it, Ray. Basically, he was the dumb one. I was like, yeah, that you're, All right. Pull this one a little bit more. Let's get our gathers kind of evenly distributed on either side. Right? Got our notch on the shoulder. There's a notch here, and look, there's the notch right there. I don't know if you can see it. That's right there. Since I don't have a safety stitch on my serger, and plus it's just a lot easier to sew these kinds of things in where you're matching up gathers or getting the ease in with a single needle machine. Don't you dare unthread. I saw you. Wow. That's the camera angle. Still doing that pink thing, isn't it? Yeah, exactly, Barbara. You know, it's just one of those things where you're like, oh, we're going to be here for a long time. We don't have to worry about it. Or what if you fix it and then you do something else to the rug? And then you're kind of like, I should have done all this fixing at the same time. I haven't put a sleeve in with gathers in so long. It's really hard for me to sew over gathers. I'm so used to making it perfectly smooth. Gosh, dress, come on. It's a lot easier though. I ran across the videos I did for the shirt I'm wearing. I never edited them or released it, and it's a sew through of the Deer and Doe Blue A dress as a top. I took that dress and I made it into a top. So I can't remember why I didn't. I think by the end of it I was kind of like, I didn't use an actual pattern. I actually, modified it. I don't show that how I modified it. I just give like what I did verbally. And I also use my sleeve because that one doesn't have a real sleeve. It has this weird little decorative cap thing. It's not a real sleeve. So I started going, people might not like that. But then I was like, it was an ASMR, so maybe I shouldn't worry about it so much. I don't know. I'm going to check it out and see. All right. Sleeve right side out, dress wrong side out. Poke it in there. We're so close to being done right now. I'm so excited. Where's this thread at? There it is. can't wait to try it on. That seam's about to come undone right there. I really need to secure it soon. Oh, I was going to, Barbara, and I just forgot. I wanted to make sure I steamed the elastic of the bobbin, and so while I was over there, I went into attach sleeves mode. That's it. Yeah, it would be easier to hem it before they're on the dress. It would have been easier to hem it before you attach the bobbin elastic, but I didn't want to do that because I wanted my sleeve to be in the round when I hem it. I just like the look of that. It looks better. You're going to put all this effort into a dress. You should probably hem it the proper way. All right, so, okay, that's about right. Let's put our sleeve notch up there. Make sure you don't get any buckling in this yoke. You can see my outer yoke is the narrower one on both sides, and it's most likely because it's thicker and it has the interfacing. The interfacing probably shrank it up a little bit too. Let's put a few sleeves in here, or I mean pins in here. I always say things like that and when I record a video and I don't notice, and then when I'm editing I'm like oh, I'm so excited, Taya. I hope this color looks good on me, you know? I don't really care. But I just made something recently, and when I wear it, I'm like, oh, this looks weird on me. Is it just because I've never worn anything this color? Or, I don't know, you know? I want more solids, though, so I'm really glad I have this. Okay, let's put it in here. I can't even grab this thread, man. I'm about to run out of thread. No! I'm about to run out of thread. I still have hems. I would have sewn with a different thread for this part, you know? I don't even think this is thread chicken. I think I just lost. When I wound my bobbin and when I wound did my machine, I didn't even pull the thread through. I rethreaded my machine. I saved from the get-go, I conserved my thread. But all that bobbin, I mean all that shirring, that was a lot of thread. Okay, now we're gonna overlock. No more pins in here, right? No. Wouldn't have been able to do French seams for sure with this amount of thread. I can feel these little, or see these little folds. You know, what they do is they push this way, and then you don't include it in the overlocking. Okay. There's also bobbin chicken. Yeah, well, I do have, well, we'll see how much bobbin I have. So I could also, if you push the seam allowance towards the bodice, it makes the flounce less. Oh, I almost forgot, you guys. How could I forget? So I could always, push the seam allowance towards the bodice like this. And then see how it flattens out the gathers. Whereas when you push it towards, it poofs them up. All right. All right. I'd show you how much thread I have. Maybe I can show you. Yeah, the drama is real. So let's do the sleeves because they're more visible than the hem. I can even do a blind hem, right, on the bottom. I'm just going to do a rolled hem. I'm looking for the back though. This is the back. Okay, it goes this way. I'm just going to do a little rolled hem. I just want to get around 2 sleeve hems. That's all. The Sewing Fairy has already granted me a lot of like free passes today. So we'll see. We'll see. Get rid of some of this linen, right? Have any of you ever taken apart fabric and used the thread of the fabric? I have. I wanted it to, whatever I was doing, I wanted to match really, really well. I think I can get my sleeves easily. Okay. The bobbin on the floor is empty. I only wound one. I knew I didn't have enough. I don't know why these thread spools are the size they are because they're just not big enough really to do a lot of projects, you know? I want this to go this way. Okay. I have to use big spools usually. I end up with extra for sure, but I don't mind extra thread. I mind extra fabric, but I don't mind extra thread. Thread's always useful. The serger cones are blue. Well, I've thought this through. I knew I was close. So let's see if you can see the serger thread. It is blue. It's not bad. It'll work in a pinch. But yeah, it's not ideal. So let's think about other things I can do without using thread for a hem that would show. Because there are, you know, like we could do a blind hem. I'd have to use my home machine for that. That's it. I could do something like a decorative, like say I had a cool decorative trim, right? Hi, Elena. If I had a cool decorative trim that I could sew onto the hem in a seam, so right sides together, and then, you know, turn it out and iron it. That could also, because the seam could be on the inside, that's another way you can get away with a hem without top stitching or showing. Do I try the bottom? I might be able to make it. But I feel like I should know how long this is before I do that. So maybe I won't. Let's see. Yeah, right, Suzanne? I was thinking pom-pom's a good example. But, you know, there are those, like, you know, like a trim that has, like, a lace weave or openings and stuff like that. Yeah, Taya, I tried all my gray threads, and none of them worked. Ball fringe, yeah. Fusible seam tape, fringe. Yeah. Gild the lily, right? I think the length's going to be good. It's been so long since, I feel like it's been a really long time since I've made something for me on the live streams. Am I wrong about that? Because I've made Michael so many things lately, and Cricket. And then I did all the gift sewing in December. Just checking over my hem here, making sure that I get rid of a lot of these threads. And making sure the junctures at the side seams, you know, are smooth. What kind of hem do I want? Do I want just a folded up 1-inch hem? Do I want it clean finished? Like this? Yeah, I think so. God, really, Fiona? Here, I can look. Let's see. Jensen, Sam, pajama pants, Strathcona, Zen. You're right. That's awesome, though. Yep, and then on the uploads, the same thing. Wow, that was back in November, right? Wait. Where's the date? No. I would like to see this, please. If it doesn't want me. Oh, yeah. Early November. Wow. And that wasn't even something I could wear. Yeah, maybe the Paddington top. I was thinking about that, Barbara, but I don't think that's necessary because my thread's pretty thick. It is nice to do that, though, because I could just, like, serge it and then turn it up and top stitch it, right? That's totally doable. No, it won't. That thread won't work. I used white thread on the ideal bag. Yeah, and so look at, I have all these. I literally bought a package of green threads. I thought, oh, this one looks like it could. Nope, too dark. Yeah. This one, too light. This one, too green. Isn't that crazy? And here's my top stitching thread. It's too thick and too bright. Yeah. All right, I'm going to iron it. Thanks, Melon. Ooh, I can't wait. Yeah, so I think I'm going to iron this up and just edge stitch it. Ooh, I think I can do it with the thread I have, you guys. This hem isn't very big. You know? And you know what'll probably happen is I'll run out of bobbin thread. Maybe I should check the bobbin before we try. Yeah, and then the hand sewn hem maybe. Fusible tape. It goes against everything I stand for. But wearing this dress, I stand for wearing that. I stand for that, wearing this dress, you know. I think I'm going to do about that much of a hem, and then I'm going to turn it under. I don't usually like hems where you fold it up and then you only turn back a little bit. For a really wide hem, I think that's fine. But I really like it when fabric fills the whole hem. It just lays so nice. I don't normally pre-iron my hems, do I? But because I don't want to make any mistakes with my thread situation, I'm gonna iron it. What are the basic thread colors to have? I tried gray, by the way. Whoever said that, I tried gray. All my grays are kind of not the right color. They're too purple. But that is a good point. So when I first got a serger and I needed thread so I could use my serger, I realized, wow, I don't think I can afford this, you know. So I just stuck with black, white, and navy blue. And I use those for everything. Black, white, and navy blue. And then eventually I learned the wonderful way of cream thread. And I used cream thread on everything. Even sewing a garment together. I didn't match. I think there's probably people here that remember me doing that a lot. There's just something about it. It worked. It didn't bug me. And gray. Gray is magical. If I had known about gray when I first got my serger, I would have bought more gray. And then the base of gray can either be in the purple realm or the blue realm, usually, you know. And so they can they vary. But a gray is kind of like a chameleon. It will pick up the colors around it. It's just really amazing. Someone taught me that trick, and man, I thought that this is genius. It helped extend the amount of thread colors I didn't need to have, you know. And you know, if you're thinking like having big cones of thread is just too expensive for your like thread library, the thing is a cone of thread is almost the same price as the little spools. So, sorry, I can't see the chat. Just gonna When have I done this before, you guys? I never ironed my hem. I'm so bad. Complete strangers have come into the chat and be like, wait, aren't you going to iron and pin that first? And I think they leave because they're like, this lady's crazy. That is too cavalier for me. It kind of is. You can do such a nicer job if you prep, you know, if you iron and pin it. I kind of just have this weird thing about me where I like to see if I don't have to sometimes in a production type of kind of vein. Not in a, I don't need no stinking iron or pins. No, I think ironing and pinning is really, really valuable. I use it constantly, obviously. Well, I don't usually on a pin though. I want this down a little bit and you up a little bit. Okay. Almost done. Here's the beginning. See the wool mat, like you can already, look at that. The heat and the steam in there still. So awesome. It kind of pre-irons it. All right. I'm just going to lay this flat and do it a little bit more because the linen is, you know, growing. Okay. It's kind of straight. Like this right here looks a little narrow right here. And this right here looks a little wider. You can kind of tell because your hem will kind of flop up because it's not folded straight or something. Okay, I'm obsessing. Let's move on. All right. Exactly, Fiona. Serger thread is thinner than sewing thread. Not mine, but yes, it definitely can be. Just depends on what you're using. The Maxi Lock, like when I've bought cones from the fabric store, it's Tex 27. All the other ones I use are Tex 40. My thread, that's what's on the wall behind me. So the left two columns are cones of thread because there was a factory going out of business, and so I grabbed them. And I don't think you should store them in the sun. Oh, someone, yeah, you put yours in a Ziploc bag, dust, and yeah. That's so, I like that idea. Just put each color in a Ziploc bag and throw it somewhere. Dust and sun is really terrible for them. You separate yours in the cardboard bin. I like this. I love this thread storage discussion. This is just a DVD holder. It was really affordable. It's a big one too. I think it's 5 feet, 10 shelves, so 30 shelves. And I think I have a few extras. So I had to buy that when I moved here because I didn't have all those amazing cubbies from my old office. Remember that office? All right. All right. Sewing Fairy. We can do this. Oh, we were going to look at the bobbin. We're fine. We're going to do this. Okay. Why am I doing that, though? What was that little noise? See, I just wasted 2 inches of thread. This is the one thing I think I am actually a little straighter than when I iron. See this little whoop-de-doo here? You just have small spools. I use those bins. Wasn't that you that just got a bin, Carrie? They're bins that close, like it's like a suitcase. I put all the little spools in there. And then often when I'm using them a lot, I will hang them on the wall. All right, I'm halfway. All right. I put a poll in the chat. I don't see it though. There it is. Coffee sounds good right now. It's kind of late for me. It's almost 2 o'clock. Maybe I'll get something at like afternoon. Oh, you guys have faith. I'm liking it. If you want to answer the poll, it's at the top of the chat window. It'd be so fast, it'll last longer. That would have so worked on me a while ago. But you know, like I do, that is kind of the feeling, like, because you want to know, right? So then you start knitting or sewing faster. Oh, you guys, 83%. Let's see. 17% of you say no. Okay. 24 votes. Half of you voted. You feel bad saying no. It's all good. All right, let's check it out. Let's see. I know how much thread I have left. There it is. I should put the camera on the thread spool. Here's my end. Ooh! Take that, Allison. Oh my gosh, look at it. It's right here. That's what I was gonna do, Diane. That's my backup plan. I want to finish this before it goes through the tension disc. Yeah, no problem. Let's embroider my name on here now. We did it! Yee! Oh my gosh, this dress is so cute. All right. What do you think of the sleeves, you guys? Are they kind of... All right, let's tie this. I love it. All right, how did I figure this out? I figured I had to go from the back to the front, and then I get a cute bow. It's very cute. Yay! You can't take the drama. Very 40s. Oh, I like the idea of that. What is this? There's something on here. I can't tell if it's in the weave. I think it's like something, maybe chalk or something. I love it. And then my little, so Barbara, I took my label. Oh, I can end the poll. Oh, Sarah, thank you. I fought the bobbin and I won. Hi, Matthew, how's it going? From Accra. That's awesome. Are you visiting? So, Barbara, I took my little label and I sewed it right sides together. And then now I'm just going to hand stitch it on there. I'll do the same with this one too here. This was my tip at the beginning of the stream. This is something I've been playing around with, where when I don't want the back stitch to be on the end of the seam, because you know sometimes it pulls it in or it leaves like a chunk of thread there, I start in the middle. Do I have enough thread for this? Do small stitches. My problem really is getting it straight and then ending it in the middle of the label there. That's absolutely, it's just a few inches away from my tension disc. All right, and now I just need to sew these little labels on there. I have long enough hair that I guess I could, you know, sew them on. I really could have hung this down from there. Or this one from here, you know? Because it's almost the same. This one's narrower. I could have just hung this down from there. But side by side. Maybe I don't need mine. Just the little koala bear. He says, I'm probably thinking about sewing. Yay, Taya! Ooh, we're having so many sewing wins today. That's awesome. That's really cool. Oh, all right, the Wi-Fi is pretty terrible, Mafio. Oh, well, I hope you had a good trip. That's awesome. Safe travels home, too. All right, let's put it on the dress form, shall we? Shall we? Let's bring it over here a little bit more. Wait. There we go. A little crooked, huh? All right, this time I'm gonna make sure there's no like pins hanging out. I didn't want it to grab the smocking, you know? And we'll be more methodical about how we put it on here, so we don't fight it so much. That was a lot easier. It still looks pretty blousy, but I think in a rayon maybe it wouldn't be so, like in the back it doesn't look so blousy. What do you think? It's got pockets, 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 pockets. There we go. There we go. It's pretty blousy. And look at how it's pretty, you know, it's not blousy on the bottom. I actually think that kind of, you know, helps a little bit make it, I don't know, flattering is the right word, but yeah, I'll definitely, I'm not going to change on camera. I think the shoulders are a little broad, but I'm kind of hoping that helps the poofiness of the sleeve. It could use a good steaming because see, look, I'm getting this a little bit of a undulation here. You know, but this was probably a little bit on the bias, but I love it. I think it's really cute. Color looks a little better in person. This This camera hasn't been adjusted for the green. It looks so comfortable. Exactly, Nancy. I might get demonetized. I did have this viewer for a while there, really insisting I do that. And I was like, finally I was like, I'm not changing on camera. I don't know how else to say this. I know I could do it off camera, but it's just, I don't want to do that. So I won't. Yeah, I think the pockets are going to be really nice. Yeah, so if you want to see pictures of it they will be on Instagram and then also on my website. So if you're not on Instagram, eventually what I do is I put all projects on my website so that all the links to the videos associated with it are in one spot. And then I just put like a brief synopsis of how I feel about it and some notes. Yeah, I think April, I think that is something that it could. You know what I mean? Because of the blousey factor. Oh, it's not level. It's just how it is on the dress form. My dress form is really, it's really grabby because I put a canvas cover over it so I would have seams for guides, you know? And the fabric that's on here is probably a little less grabby, but then the one I put on there is kind of grabby. But yeah, it is, better be level. I checked from here to here. Don't make me nervous like that, no. Yeah, I like the ties too. A OnlyFans stream, Nancy. I feel like that's like a guaranteed way to get rid of viewers. So it's why I have a dress form, right? Not too broad, cute sleeves, okay. Yeah, me too. I love the solid. And the bottom, you really can't see it, but it does kind of flare out. It's not as straight cut as I'm making it sound. See? It's a nice shape. That little ridge under the, right here, I think that's partly because of this and this. If you were doing something thinner and drapier. Oh, okay, Smith. Yeah, well, it's totally fine. Don't worry about it. I saw you retract your message. It's totally fine. You're welcome to say stuff like that. What did you make, Diane? Yeah, I'm excited. The weather's been really nice. Maybe I can take a picture tomorrow. Yee, I'm so glad. I really like this. This is, you know, I feel like it's always the ones that I don't like at first that I end up liking even more. It's like anytime you go out of your comfort zone and then you're like, oh, okay, I like this. Yeah. Ooh, Daphne. That's it. I think you could totally do that. You could put the bodice on some like pull-on pants. How would you get in and out? Zipper? Maybe a back neck zipper. I like that jumpsuit idea. I think that'd be really cute. I think you're right. Oh, someone taught you chicken noodles. Okay, got it. Me too, Amy. Yeah, right, Sarah? Exactly. Yeah, so. She looks a little funny right here. Here, we'll pull this down a little bit. Soften that, don't you think? There. A little more flattering. But yeah. A back zipper? Yeah, maybe a back zipper would do it. You know what, Daphne? You could probably do a side zip. Although you have the smocking to deal with. But I was thinking that it might be easier to get on and off if you had a side zip. Because you have the slit in the neck, so you could get it over your head. Oh, but you have to get it over your butt. I think you're right, back zip. Yeah. Night, Malin. Have a good weekend, Malin. See you next week, maybe. Yeah, originally, Carrie, I was just going to do a smooth set-in sleeve. No gathers, no elastic on the hem, just a smooth set-in sleeve. And then I just decided, you know what? I kind of want to carry it up there, so I love it. Yay, I can't wait to try it on. First thing I'm going to do when I get off while my lunch is heating up. Yeah, you probably could do a front zip. You could get rid of the slit and then do a front zip. It's kind of a look, though. How would you make it look? I don't know about a front zip. That looks kind of utilitarian. So, see you, Aisha. Yeah, I know. I hope they do get to meet up. All right. Well, thanks for coming, you guys. This was a great journey. Great first project for the stream this year. Next week, I'm making an ironing board cover if you want to, because this is my rationale was like we all need something after we made everybody else gifts, right? And my ironing board is literally ripping. Every time I use it, it's ripping more and more. Ooh, yeah, buttons. Buttons would be really cute. You'd have to deal with the smocking, though. But yeah. The jumpsuit idea sounds really cute. I think the back zip, though, would be the easiest thing to do. Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, thanks. This was really fun. Thanks for the donations, you guys. I really appreciate it. Next week is the ironing board cover. And then the following week, I'm doing another thing for me. I'm doing the Sophie dress by 5 out of 4 patterns. Another woven. And see you, Walter. See you, Terry. And it will also be a dress kind of out of my comfort zone and kind of has a similar silhouette to this in that there's some ruffling going on. I'm going to do the sleeveless version with a little ruffle cap, decorative thing. And it has a draw cord in the waist. And I can't remember what the bodice looks like beyond that. But there's a ton of different views on that. It's got like a flounce sleeve, a short version, long version. Oh, it has a hem ruffle. So there's a few things that I'm like, not really my usual thing either, but it looks really cute. And the fabric I picked is going to make it right. What if the buttons only went to the smocking? I think that's fine. I think you would need to stop them like this much so it didn't go all the way up to it. But yeah. The jumpsuit idea is so interesting. It's easy to imagine, you know, like pants. I'm trying to cover up the bottom, but this isn't working. Yeah. You guys are the best too. And if you're interested in the guild, check it out. It's a pretty cool space and very chill. I'm loving it. Loving seeing you guys make things and share. SoSoGuild.com is you can check it out. So, all right. I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you Wednesday for the ironing board cover. No, it's not next week though. Oh. What's my schedule? Here it is. I would like to see this, please. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Okay. Here, let me show you. Hopefully my mic still works. Yeah. Here is my schedule. I'm making an ironing board cover in 2 weeks. Right here. The 16th, and then the 17th and 19th, I'll be doing the Sophie top, or Sophie dress. I have a couple uploads for you next week, though. I have a new pattern review video coming next week. Not tomorrow. All right, guys, I'll see you guys next week. Have a good weekend. Happy sewing, and yeah, have a good one. Bye.